segment this morning on Good Morning Anambra. Today is Tuesday. How are you? It's good to have you here. My name is Sijama Uche, and I have a very prominent citizen that has joined me to look at the topic we have for you today. He is a big chief and a stakeholder with us here. Kanayo Obidibo. Kanayo Obidibo, apart from being a prominent chief in Oka, is also a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Chief.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, it's good to have you here. And we're going to look at Anambra State at 33. Anambra State at 33, the journey so far. That's going to be our topic for this morning. But before we take off, let me quickly give you a brief background of what we have been able to do to ourselves for the period of 33 years we have existed. Okay? Economically, Anambra has become one of the most urbanized states in Nigeria with a high GDP and a thriving economy driven by industries like manufacturing, agriculture, and the trade. Infrastructurally, the state has invested heavily in infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and Anambra International Cargo Airport, which opened in 2021. And when you come down to culture, artists, who are these people called Anambra people? Anambra is home to several cultural attractions, including the Obunike Caves, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the Ibuku Museum, which showcases ancient bronze artifacts. We have other areas like industrialization. The state has become a hub for manufacturing with companies like Innocent, an automobile manufacturer, and Orient Petroleum, an oil and gas company operating in the state. And as Ndibo, we are that we do everything for ourselves, including producing the food that we eat. Anambra has invested in agriculture with a focus on crops like oil palms, maize, rice, yam, cassava, and has become a major producer of agricultural products in Nigeria. A whole lot of things. Okay, let's also touch tourism, which of course I talked about earlier, that the state has developed its tourism industry with attractions like the Obunike Caves, Oba Waterfalls, Agulu Lake, and the Rugeni Tourist Village, which offer opportunities for ecotourism and cultural exploration. These are the things we need to have at the back of our minds as we look at how we have progressed to 33 years that we are now. Welcome again. Now, Kanayo, let's look at the background, the creation of Anambra State, how we started, how it was even how it come into concept that there's need for this Anambra, this part of the Anambra to exist from the old Anambra.
Great. Really, Anambra State, as it is presently, is started from the old Eastern region, and we continued with the Eastern region of the 4 regions which made up the federative unit of this country. And then until the Civil War, and the declaration was made on 30th of May by His Excellency Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu for the old Eastern region to become a country. As it actually went into the confusion of war or no war, Yakubu Gowon, who became the head of state after the death of Ironsi, now decided to create 12 states. And the old Eastern region became part of the state, which we now named East Central State. And an administrator was introduced, Obabi, Chief Obabi Asika Ajay of Onitsha. And he was governing Anambra Central while we were at war in Lagos. And when the war ended, he came back to become an administrator of the of the East Central State, which is the home state of the present Anambra State. That's where, and then in 1996, the Anambra State was created, Imo was created, and the rest of them across river, and then the eastern region of the old was actually balkanized, not to be a region anymore. And over time, the same Anambra State, during the Mobile administration of the Second Republic, our legislators from the south of this Anambra State now decided to have a new movement for Anambra State. There were several agitations, agitations for new state. And the new Anambra State, we call it New Anambra State. However, the owners of this world thought about Enugu State, Wawa State. And eventually, the military in their wisdom created Enugu State, and we now reverted to become the present Anambra State. And for record purposes, we do know that states have been created based on certain landmarks. So Anambra River is a very popular river.
Okay.
And we became the Anambra State.
I was actually going to ask you how the Anambra name came, because I knew Anambra River is in the present Anambra State. But before now, the old Anambra was bearing Anambra State. That's old Anambra, comprising of Enugu, Ebonyi, and the present Anambra.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we had the Enugu State, and later Ebonyi State, and then we remain in Anambra State today. And Anambra State has been blessed in Nigerian politics with what Mbadiwe described as the timber and caliber of Nigerian politics, the zinc of Africa. The Iketuonye, the Nwaforuzu, Abubakar Senior, who was the president of the Senate at the time, the Chikobis, the Ojukus of this world. The Mbazluki Amechi, the boy is good, who became a minister under 27 years of age in the First Republic. You see, and then it continued like that. And today, the agitation for a new state has not stopped. The Olu state is being advertised by people who felt that state creation is the basic thing for development in our communities. But we have come to realize that some states are not even that viable, if not for the fact that the federal government, who has actually usurped all the items in the exclusive list, decided to now be peanut for states to survive. And states are no longer seeing themselves as being competitive the way the operas of the region did, and was able to create the ADAPAM. I think you mentioned it, create the oil farm industry, to create the cement, Calago cementing factory, the coal mine, and the rest of them. These are revenue yielding ventures of the region that actually made the region tick. As far as Garden City, the Port Harcourt was concerned at the time, Opera went and developed it and named it the Garden City. It became a place, Enugu became a home for every Igbo man. Because the bottom line was, the state was created and all the technocrats lived in Enugu and started to move to their various states to develop their state. So Anambra State as it is today remains the mother state for all the states that was created.
In the East.
And Zik, in his wisdom, we're actually bringing the likes of the Jiken Bono, the I've forgotten, but it's from Calabar. He was supposed to be the governor.
Okay.
When there was a crossover in Western House of Assembly. Okay. And Zik felt that the Yorubas have actually dealt with him, and he came back to Enugu to take over Enugu before he now went to the
Are you talking
House.
of Philip Effion? Is it Effion or what?
Yeah.
Is it Effion?
No, not Effion. I
Okay.
think I will remember the name. It was
Okay.
the Calabar man who was actually supposed to be the man in helm of affairs before Apara. But
Okay.
Zik came and took over, having been, what they call cross-carpeting in Western House of Assembly, because Zik actually won election there under the NCNC. And Zik now felt that since he was supposed to lead the House, and then they now decided to do the tribal thing.
Okay.
And Zik felt insulted, having actually been a Nigerian who is so detribalized that some of his children bears Yoruba name.
All
That's
right.
an Igbo man.
All right. At the onset of creation of Anambra State, the new Anambra State, like you called it, I remember my uncle telling me that when this was being initiated, that a close friend of his from Enugu State told him, now that they're giving you guys state, that is like they collected men of wisdom, men of timber and caliber, and they're giving you one state. And as they're looking at you now, that state is not going to progress because nobody will allow the other to rule. Okay, everybody wants to be a leader because you guys have been ruling us and then imposing your might and your wealth on the old Anambra. Now that you have been given a new Anambra, that's not going to be any progress in this new Anambra because none of you will allow each other to lead because you're all rich. Is this, how can we now bring it into what is going on in Anambra State?
The point is that is a human thought. Human beings can always propound their thought to mean one thing or the other,
But do you share the same perception with the man?
But so far so good. You can see that even as it is now, that one of the leaders of the political party that has been adjudged to be who would have been a good leader is from Anambra State, P2B. You understand what I'm saying? And as at then, P2B was in the primary school. Probably when he said, when the young man said that to your uncle. Now, I don't think we have not done so wonderfully well. We have, as a state. When you were reeling out the achievements, the developments in Anambra State, one of those areas that is so particular and dear to me is the airport. I remember when Mbakwe started and it was become a common, a common password. No amount is too small for Imo Airport. For Imo Airport to do what? To be built. Today, we don't suffer going to Enugu to go and board a plane. Oba Airport, which we thought that would have come earlier, became politicized. But today, Anambra State has an airport that is very busy. When I mean busy, it's very busy.
Very vibrant.
That alone has shown that we have not actually succumbed to the expectation of wise men coming together and nobody will allow each other to drink. But we are drinking. We are even making waves.
Okay, can you bring us into this now? How do you guys manage yourselves? Give it to him. The Enugu State man, he was right that Anambra State people are rich. Okay, so how do you manage yourself? Because if you come in a community, I know what's going on in my community now. A young guy will just come buy a land anywhere, even outside his own village, and he will tar the road from the major road to wherever that particular road ends. He will create, wealth. There will be water, free water for you to fish and a whole lot of things. So is this one of the things we benefit from having Ndiodogu in one state?
Yes, for some reason, Hilary Nachukwu in Nnewi, world man, started it. When he became a millionaire in the late 70s, he started to tar the Uruagu Nnewi and some part of Nnewi, and his language was Onye Elide Gomnon Osoliano. It became a good saying. I said Hilary Nachukwu is now doing roads. And so also, we find out that now, the late musician said, Onye Chukwu Nyamele Obodie. That is what we are saying. Yes. So what am I trying to say? That Anambra people have seen that the government of this country, the federal government, we are not ready. Whether we like it or not, our whole Eastern region, and particularly Anambra State, saw themselves as people who were defeated in the war. And because of that idea, and that the federal government is not actually pumping in development within our local government and villages and cities and towns, individuals who have been blessed by God have decided, if you go to Nene today, you will see a different Nene. If you go to Agugu today, you will see a different Agugu. If you go to Alo today, you will see a different Alo.
Go to Oruku, Enugu.
So what are we now talking about? That people have seen it, that government of the day cannot be left alone to develop our inner cities. And it is a thing of joy that having built a mansion and you have an erosion harassed, if it was bamboo in the old days, you say macadamize to your house. So you have an erosion harassed road to your house with all your limousine, with all your SUVs. Yes. So for that house to have some standard, you have to do the roads. And doing the road does not mean because you are a multimillionaire, but because you want development in your immediate environment. And as a result of that, it became competitive. It is not a competition among the Igbo big boys. That if you have a road to your house and it's not done, then you are not having a good house. So
if your house is not accessible,
yes,
you have not built a house.
Thank you. So that is what it is now. So today in Anambra State, wealth are measured by what you are giving back to the state.
Yes.
Giving back to your country, giving back to your community, immediate community. That is how we measure wealth. Onye Chukwu melo mma, ya melo obodie. Onye Chukwu gozi, ogozi obodie. That is the way it is, and that is where it should be for the upcoming millionaires. Because we are actually turning out millionaires in different form. There is a guy who is so rich now that he has actually turned his village into a small city by networking the roads. Because roads are so capital intensive, and even local government may not have the funds to touch all the nook and crannies of their local government area. Therefore, we are appealing for this program that Onye Chukwu melo mma, ya melo obodie.
Okay. In other words, what they thought was going to be a problem was going to be become
a blessing.
Has become a blessing. Yes. Indeed. Okay, because they thought we are not going to make it because nobody will allow the other to move. But now it's a kind of competition in my state, Anambra, that young people, very enterprising and industrious people, are now using their wealth to create wealth for their states and then create a better avenue for their people. I know if you come to Enugu, I know one beautiful road that was done by one mechanic, where if you see that road, you think it was built by federal government. Then, okay, you see another one that is being built by Akwenwebe, the Okonkwo guy. If you see that road, building it with, and you keep wondering what's going on. So this is what we benefit from having Indio Dogu being people from the state.
That is exactly what you have said. Instead of what they thought would have been a confusion of Nkita, now becomes a blessing. Reason, the Igbos are judged to be intelligent people. Whether the Nigerian people like it or not, these are the Igbos that were given 20 pounds when the war ended in 1970. And when a friend of mine withdrew from Lagos to Onitsha and he saw the Awada, the Omaba, and he was asking me, is this part of like Festac in Lagos? I said, yes. I said, this is Onitsha Festac. Individual did all those high-rise buildings he saw there. He was so marveled because he was coming into the Eastern Hinterland for the first time. So he saw what has been built. That was in 1982. So
when there were no buildings in Onitsha, he should come back. Invite him back.
Yes. So
invite him back now.
Thank you.
Okay,
what I'm trying to say is that the Igbos are blessed.
We are.
The Igbos are really blessed.
We are. Okay, we are looking at Anambra State now. Let's look at our political growth from the day of creation to now. Where are we?
Good. You see, we have, when I was doing a program yesterday on the radio, we talked about Oka as the landlord and of the state. And I used the word that Oka, we have been married by several husbands. We started with the Bulu. We went on to Rufai. We went on to see the Ukebu. We now saw the Mbadu Jews of this world.
No, before then, the Nimo guy, what was his name? It was a military guy too.
Administrator. Okay, I think I wasn't in the country then.
Okay.
So I saw the Ukebu handed over, Wakubu handed over to Mbadu.
Okay.
And we have seen the P2B and then Anduba and then all the way down to the present. What I mean, I'm talking about somebody who came to domesticate governance. Our governor came by his name, Chale Wambafo. Nobody, it wasn't honorable, it wasn't excellency. Called me.
As he took over from Obiano.
And then, when he now came up with that Chale Wambafo, it became a domesticated governance for everybody. So people now hooked up to it. And today, we have seen, like I rightly said yesterday, no goli no dinabo, or aya no goli na sato. So now I think now the Anambra people as a whole, because when we talked about America, we talk about cities that are evenly developed. And this is a governor that came to evenly develop Anambra State. And you can see the infrastructural development, you can see other sectors like the old and is being marshaled at the same time. But what I am trying to say is that this present administration has actually done what an elephant could not do. He has touched nearly every community in Anambra State. I was a politician and the chairman of PPA in Anambra State at the time. Therefore, I know all the wards and I know all the local government. Then, how they were. But today, you find out that roads in Anambra State, we have the best network of road among the states in this country, Anambra State. And you can see that communities almost live very close to each other. As it is now, you don't know when you leave Orukuto. You don't know when you leave Aguto. You don't know.
That was what happened to me last Friday.
Oh yeah.
As I went for a burial at OKTT,
right.
I missed my way. I was trying to dodge Nobi Junction traffic, and then I put I was just seeing myself from
No,
one city to the other.
Abacha, name it,
Very clean
Nimo,
roads.
Oka, if you talk, Amanshi, Ndukwenu, Awa, just name it, Ozu. All these areas that were like, no, they were sounding Greek to some of Anambarians. Where is Awa in Anambra? Where is Ozu? Where is Ndukwenu? But today, which place is Ubueno? But from the express, from this Enugu express to Ndukwenu is like 2 minutes drive. To Awa, to Fuma, about 10 minutes
because
drive.
of the road that was done at Kwata, Amansi. And then
From
the
there,
other one is
about
family.
5 minutes.
Okay.
A journey that you would have made through Agulu, Nanka, Ekulobia, Oko, and the rest of Ndi Keliongu before you get to Ajari and then head to Omunze. But the road is now just less than 27 kilometers from this express.
Okay.
Which is how roads are being built all over the world.
And opposite it is about family road.
Family is 15 minutes drive, you get into Oba.
I've done that one. I've been to that place.
So these are, and he's heading to Umolum and probably link up with Anako and then come back to Twacha. That is what they want to do now.
Oh, really?
Yes, and that is how it is. If you, from this place, Amansi Junction, to what they call it, Zago. To Zago.
Zago is in Enugu State now.
Look at the Zago here. Zago is the neighbor to Ebenebe.
Oh.
Yes, Zago is Ebenebe. When you get to Ebenebe, you see Mbabuawa. You see Mbabuawa. After Mbabuawa, you see Owa. You come to Zago.
But all this from Mbabuawa, they are all Enugu State.
Yes.
Okay, so if you go this way, you are going to Enugu. If you go this way, you are going to above family. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
okay.
That's what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
So in the Guanike and the rest of them are like 20 minutes walk from Ebenebe, and they are all Enugu State.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that our governor, present governor, has done marvelously well in road networking. We have good roads. We are blessed with a visionary governor.
Yeah, I was talking with one Imo State friend, and he told me, you guys are very lucky. I don't know how you choose your governors. It's like we are going to come here and learn how to choose good governors for ourselves. Okay, because from let's say from P2B did some roads. Okay, Ngige did some very solid roads while he was here, built some infrastructures. P2B followed suit, did some roads, built infrastructures, empowered schools and a whole lot of things. And then came in Obiano that gave us legacy projects. He may not have built a lot of roads, though he built for my town, the road that connected us to the express. And then gave us one big legacy infrastructure like the airport and the international conference and a whole lot of things. These are the things to benefit from our governors, our own people. We're going to say that the Anambra Budugu, whether they're technocrats, whether they're in business, wherever you find them, that's EAG. Then this present governor, Professor Chukwumacha Soludo, came in and it's like non achikotazi ebenine metoro, for the past 8, 12, 16 years, he's reaching out.
You see, we're liking our governor to a team of footballers. When you watch the technical advisor of a team standing and watching, and you have the substitutions.
He'll be,
Thank you.
Notes marking.
Looking at the way the match is going, and then decide to bring in a new player. And as soon as he comes in, like the Iowa of this world, he will score a goal. That is Soludo for you. Soludo came first time to vie for the governorship in this state, and it didn't go well. But he didn't go to rest on his horse. All he did was to continue to vision, continue the mission.
Mapping out what he would like to do for
like
Anambra.
a shadow governor. When you go to London, you will see shadow members of the shadow ministers among the Tory and the Labour. So now he was like a shadow governor, watching all that the governors were doing in Anambra State and putting his graphs together on how to reach out That was why, as soon as he came in, if you remember, from the inauguration ground, he
hit the ground running.
To,
yes.
To our popular Okpoko. And today, Okpoko is now history.
New heaven.
It's history, because when you look at
their name has changed from Okpoko.
Everybody was asking. So in our lifetime, so Okpoko will change. The same way he came to the most populous ward in this country, Agolo Ward 5. Agolo Ward 5 is
Agolo is in Oka.
In Oka here. My primary constituency.
When we started, we call it Agolo. So it's Agolo.
Agolo Oka. Okay. Agolo Oka has a single ward. It is a clan of 7 villages. We have 27 polling units.
Oh, really?
27. There is no ward that has 27 polling units in this country. It's only in Agolo Oka. And the worst terrain, the worst Morocco, the worst, name it, Niger Delta, was in the same Agolo Oka. And His Excellency came there. He looked at it and said, are we sure that this is Oka? I said, but you drove from Ekemweda to this place. And he walked. After walking around, he felt so bad that a section, a ward, it will exist in this form when we are not living in Niger Delta.
In a capital city.
In a capital city. That is not from the government house to the same place is about 20 minutes drive or 15 minutes drive, depending on the traffic. However, today, that place is now adjudged as the Taiwan Dubai.
Oh, I would like to visit.
Oh my God. Some people came back and drove past their house from America. They didn't know when they drove past their houses. They told me, they have to reverse. I said, so I got to go by. But today, we are happy. And it was not building a road that will be washed up in the next 30 years. No. He has done a live project on that road.
That's good.
And to assure Ndioka, he gave it to an Oka song. The Oka Millennium City owner. And the boy came and did wonderfully well. This opportunity, he made a national contract. God will bless you. Because if the Soludo has not awarded the contract the way he did, and the specifications were done, I mean, I'm talking about building a road to the standard of Americans. That is what we have.
Legacy project.
So it is indeed a legacy project.
Thank you.
In my immediate community.
All right, thank you. We're going to take a break here. Chief Kanayo Bidibo will take a break, and then when we come back, we'll start concluding.
Great news for Anambra Broadcasting Service ABS audience. You can now watch ABS television through any of these ways.
Buy a terrestrial antenna and connect to your television. Search ABS Channel 24 Oka or ABS Channel 27 Onitsha. Install StarTimes cable decoder and search ABS Channel 113. Install Metro Digital cable decoder and search ABS Channel 29.
Watch ABS TV on your smart TV or smartphone by downloading Anambra Broadcasting Service app on Google Play Store. Also watch via ABS Facebook page at ABS Radio Television and ABS YouTube page at ABS Television Oka.
ABS TV is now also on satellite. You can watch us from anywhere in Nigeria and other African countries. Simply install our TV decoder brand and tune to channel 315 or install any free-to-air satellite decoder and search for ABS TV.
Whichever option you choose, stay abreast of breaking news, documentaries, children's shows, talk shows, comedy, sports, movies, and lots more on your darling TV station.
For adverts and program sponsorship, contact 0803 388 8526 or 0806 883 9902. ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
Today that we are celebrating the 33 years of existence as a sovereign state in this sovereign nation, Nigeria. Anambra at 33. Good to have you back. Okay, I still have Chief Kana Yobidibo with me in the house, and we have been looking at the way we started, what we have been able to do for ourselves, and where we are today, and most importantly, where we hope to be tomorrow. Thank you once again for rejoining us. Yes, Chief Kanayo, that's another area I want us to look at before we go. Let's look at industrialization of Anambra State. I know that we are very enterprising on individual basis.
Right.
Okay, we do our own things, not waiting for government. We provide our houses, provide our roads, provide our water, provide electricity for ourselves. Okay, and then we have gone ahead to establish mega industries that are making noise all over the world. Now, I want to ask you, is there anything we need to do as a people or as the government to encourage our industrialists in the state?
Yes. One good thing about the Anambra people is that we are result-oriented people.
Yes.
Result-oriented in the sense that we go into projects, businesses, and manage it. For instance, you know the Igbo Dibo is one aspect of industry that Anambra people built into this country. Boy. Today, if you go to Onitsha, you find out that the shakers and movers of Onitsha market, all the markets in Onitsha, are those of them who went through the tutelage of serving one master or the other. Now, Innocent, for instance, served, and today Innocent has built a motor
manufacturing
company that Anambra, the old Anambra State could not sustain.
A whole state government could not sustain.
But today, he has built all manner of all ranges of cars. And how do we support them? By patronizing them. When His Excellency P.W. came, he patronized it. And I believe that His Excellency Professor Chuma Soludo is also patronizing him.
He is.
That is how it is done. In America, they give contract to their indigenous manufacturing companies to manufacture cars and then put duty more on imported cars so that their own car will sell. And you find out that we have the population in this country for Innocent. In fact, the federal government should do what? Support Innocent. He's an employer of labor. I manufacture goods that even will earn us foreign exchange. Because those vehicles at his manufacture could be sold within the sub-region. And the freighting will be even cheaper than bringing cars from Tokyo, Japan to Cotonou, Lomé, Mali, and the rest of them. They would prefer to come to Nigeria and then railroad cars to their various countries being manufactured in Anambra State. If you are able to support the local manufacturer, you have actually created employment. People earning will increase, GDP will multiply, living standard will change, you see, and cities will develop. Mortgage will rise up, real estate will come up because people will live in houses and build their own houses too. So the multiplier effect of industrial revolution in our state will develop our state more. Therefore, what are we, and then I am encouraging Anambra people to go into partnership. Partnership for development, creating jobs. Just nobody, in most cases, you don't find somebody owning a corporation. Bill Gates doesn't own Microsoft alone. Elon Musk, all of them. So that's that in doing business, when the proprietor is no longer there. You saw the Kennedy Chukwus of this world. You can see the God days of this world, the Osondos of this world. So because they did not incorporate it to live beyond them. Okay?
Yes.
So I am praying that our present crop of industrialists will put up a good succession moratorium for either their family members or some technocrats. You bring in people, you hire people who can do the job, and then probably give them some percentage of the equity.
Okay.
And it will make the company to grow and not to
be viable.
wind up as soon as you don't find it when you buy. So, which means capital oil will not continue. Is that what we're going to experience? So, but we are hoping that when you don't find it when you buy, the capital oil is there to sustain the development in Igbo land.
Okay.
So we are praying that there will be some agreement, some synergy, some understanding, and then we can actually make Anambra State a model state.
Okay. I think I have to give you the opportunity to use this opportunity to also give your message to the Anambra people at 33 as to conclude. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I will please thank the Anambra people for their indulgence in developing Anambra State, their effort. It is an effort, an indigenous effort. We have seen that there are a few obstacles created either by law because of not developing our waterways, and people are finding it difficult to bring in haulage of their goods from Lagos, Port Harcourt down to Onitsha. We know we do suffer all those things, but I am praying that our governors will put their heads together to dredge. We have seen last year, we have seen what the Uguta axis that they actually link into the ocean. If we dredge it, that bigger vessels will come into our territory. So I am thanking the Anambra people for their drive to develop, develop their various communities. And I can assure you, this becomes true. So we are going to be our brother's keeper. We are going to be our neighbor's keeper, and we should watch our neighbors back too. Therefore, I am praying that this drive of development, of trying to do one or two things for your community, will continue among our young men who are now actually becoming millionaires in their own rights.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Chief Kanayo Obidibo. Thank you very much for that wonderful message. And I also want to inform you that if you are from this state, Obunibo Anambra, always be a good ambassador of this state, because this state, I think, if you ask me, is the #1 in this country in everything you want to think about. Obunibo Anambra, whether you are rich or you are poor, always be proud that you come from this state.
Absolutely.
Okay? If you are not the one that is controlling the money, the millions or the billions, at least you belong to a state. Sure. You belong to a town. You belong to a village where you have these billionaires that are making us proud wherever they are. Okay? Do you know, as Tonya Anambra, that people that control the airlines in this country, in Africa sub-region, that controls almost all the air wherever you find them. Do you know that from this Anambra state?
Absolutely.
Talk about the Air Peace, talk about the United, talk about the OBK that is coming up very soon, OBK Air, a whole lot of them controlling the airwaves of this region, Africa as a whole, and even beyond. Are you not proud to belong here? This is why we urge you to please do away with criminality so that you don't stand the name of this country. So people will not now associate us with crime when we are doing more exploit than this. If you want to talk the best cable that you can use in electrical appliances, it is from this state. The man that produces the best. It is from this your Anambra state. They venture in oil and gas. Mention them, they're there, Capital Oil, Christie, a whole lot of them, they're from this place. In industries of any kind you can think about, even in agriculture, they cost cherries. They're all from this state. Are you not proud to be on Anambra? Talk about anything good, anything very, very enterprising in this country, they are from this your own state. So please, as a young person, endeavor to copy this. Let these people be your role model and not criminality in any way. That is our message to you as we mark our 33 years of independence, because this is Independence Day for Anambra. So on behalf of the management of Anambra Broadcasting Service, the staff, and the Good Morning Anambra team led by Ife, we want to congratulate our governor, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, on our 33rd year of independence. And then congratulating Anambra, all of you put together. You're all great people. You're from a great state. You're a great race. Always be proud that you are from this place. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today. We'll keep celebrating because today is just the beginning. And we'll celebrate all through this month who we are and what we have been able to achieve for ourselves. God bless you all. My name is Sijoma Uche. We'll see you tomorrow.